So today I'm going to be talking about Amazon S3, which is a managed cloud storage solution for AWS. And then I'm going to show you how to provision a static website using Amazon S3. Let's dive in. So Amazon S3 is a managed cloud storage solution that you can use to store your data as objects in the buckets. Now you can store pretty much any data. It could be files, it could be documents, images, or even videos. Amazon S3 has certain features which actually makes people want to use it for their applications or for disaster recovery and some other stuff. So one of the features is that S3 holds trillions of objects, right? So the storage is so vast, you can afford to put so many objects inside. You can store a large amount of data, and you can store really large data files with one file being as large as 5 terabytes. By default, none of your data is shared publicly. It's private to your account, and you're the only one who can access it or who can view it. Now, there might be scenarios where you would want to make this data public, like what I'll show you when we are provisioning our static website. By the time you upload the content of your website, you want people to be able to see this thing because you're going to have to put your HTML, your CSS, your JavaScript, all the codes are going to be in there with the images and everything that will display for your site. So if you don't make that public, people won't be able to access it over the internet. So in such scenarios, you might want to make your S3 bucket public. But other than that, by default, it's always private, it's never shared publicly. And you can also encrypt your data in transit and choose to turn on server-side encryption on your objects. So you can encrypt all your objects so people never know what is in there. Even if they manage to somehow miraculously access your objects, they can never actually view it because it's encrypted. By default, data in Amazon S3 is stored redundantly across multiple facilities and multiple devices in each facility. So what does this mean? If I upload data in Amazon S3 right now, it's not just stored in one place. My data is stored in multiple places. So let's say, for example, I upload my data, it's stored in 15 servers or 1,000 servers. So if one server goes down and I need to access my data, it has been replicated across other servers. So I will still be able to access that data. If one goes down, the other one will fetch my data. If that one goes down, the other one will fetch my data. So it's highly durable, and you never have to wonder about, what happens to my data? What if it gets corrupted? Because the moment you upload data in Amazon S3, it's stored redundantly across multiple facilities and multiple devices. So it's always accessible to and for you when you need it. Bucket names are universal and must be unique across all existing bucket names in Amazon S3. This means you can't use a bucket name that someone else has used in their AWS account. Why does this happen? It's just like having a website now. If my website is www.gofundme.com, someone else can also have a website called www.gofundme.com. They might have gofundallofus.com, but it will never be the exact same. And in Amazon S3, bucket names are basically just like your website name, right? So if you have a name for your bucket called Tokyo Go, and someone else wants to create a bucket, if they try to create a bucket using the name Tokyo Go, they won't be allowed to create it because it's going to cause a conflict. People might want to access your account and then they start accessing someone else's accounts. Like if you're using it to host a static website, people might want to view your website, but because you have the same name with someone else, they go and start viewing someone else's website. So Amazon S3 doesn't let you do that. You can only have unique names universally, so you can never use the name someone else is using for your S3 buckets. Okay, so next we're going to look at the use cases of Amazon S3 buckets. And the common use cases are one, for storage for application assets, can be used for static website hosting, like we've been talking about. It can be used for backup and disaster recovery. So if you want to back up data from your applications or from your organizations, you can back them up on Amazon S3. And because it offers so many different types of storage, you have unlimited options. So there's a glacier now, for example. If you need to store data that you're not going to make use of for a long period of time, you can store it on your Amazon glacier. It can be used as staging area for big data. So if you have a lot of data you want to analyze using big data tools, you can use Amazon S3 for this because of its highly scalable nature. It can always just like keep scaling to fit the amount of data that keeps being added there. So let's go into what we're actually here to do today, which is setting up a static website using S3 buckets. So I'm going to search for S3. Okay. And like this bin here. All right, so let's create a bucket. Yeah, I want general purpose. My bucket name. Now remember, it has to be unique within the global namespace. So I can't use a name that someone else has used. Let me call this project test. Maybe someone else used that. J project test. Okay. Object ownership, leave this as it is. So if I block all public access, people won't be able to view my static website from the internet. So what I'm going to do is just uncheck this. Yes, acknowledge what I'm doing. Bucket version in disable. I don't need multiple variants of my objects. I just want to show you guys this quickly, and then I would delete this bucket. Server-side encryption, I'll leave that as it is. Leave this as it is. I'm going to create my buckets. So I'm going to go into the bucket I created, and in properties, I would scroll down to this place, static website hosting. Right now it's disabled, so I'm going to edit this and enable static website hosting. Host a static website, yes. Specify the home of defaults, it's index.html. This will be my home page. I don't have an error document. Redirection rule, no. Save changes. Error and error source name, okay. Yeah, everything's good to go. So when I want to access my static website, this is what I'm going to copy. This is kind of like my website. So you see what I was saying about the naming conventions. J project test dot s3 dash website dash us east one. So imagine someone else tried to use the same name, J project test, also in the same region, US East 1. This is exactly how it's going to be displayed. So if I have this web address and someone else has this exact web address, you can imagine what will happen. There's going to be conflicts. So that's why you have to use a unique name across all accounts. Okay, so next I want to upload the content of my website. Let me just put this over here. Okay. First, I want to make sure my index.html is here because that's the most important. This displays my home page. So I want this to be here first and foremost. And then I can worry about everything else. Just going to add them all with this. So drag and drop. Yeah. So everything has been uploaded. 36 total, yes, sounds about right. Upload. So basically this has everything I need for my website, like the CSS, the JavaScript codes, the HTML, the fonts, the images, everything I need to display the website is contained in this place. I'm uploading everything to my bucket. So when people access my S3 buckets over the internet, they would be able to view my website in its entirety. So that's why we're doing this. Let's just wait for it to finish uploading 100% and then we move on from that. 88%, we're almost done. Succeeded. Uh, okay, upload successful. Yes, so I have my index.html, my images, font, CSS, JS, everything is present here. Okay, that's cool. So now, if I try accessing my website immediately after just uploading all these things, just like this, I won't be able to reach it. And here's why. So when I turned off block public access, I allow people to be able to reach my website if they have my link, but that's only if they have the permission to do that. I haven't put a bucket policy yet. I haven't set a policy for my bucket saying what people are allowed to do or what they are not allowed to do. So I'm going to have to put a bucket policy that allows people to read what's in my bucket over the internet. So I'm going to go to permissions, scroll down to bucket policy, click on edit. You can generate a policy or you can just pick one from like example, but I have a policy I usually use. I'm just going to paste that here. Now you see this resource place, this isn't my ARN, so I'm going to copy my bucket ARN and I'm going to replace this one with it. Yes, okay, public read, get object, allow. Yeah, good to go. And then just save the changes. Successfully edited bucket policy. So now we are going to reload this page and we should see our website now. Loading. Yes. Okay, so our website has loaded. About us. Okay, doctors. And you see everything functions as it should. Fully deployed website in only a matter of minutes. And that's it. Using the Amazon S3 to host a static website. Now, if you have a domain name, you can change this and actually use your domain name instead. So you can host a static website with Amazon S3 using your domain name instead of the bucket name. But I think I'll do that in a separate video. I'll show you how that's done in a separate video. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for today. See you in the next video. Bye guys.